The recent leak of Bambi's private film was not an accident. Rather, it was a premeditated attack, and now Lil Scrappy is going all out to expose Stevie J. Did you ever believe that the hip-hop and love stars would believe they had everything under control, but in an instant, everything might change? This controversy isn't limited to a single video. It's a shady game where money, power, and privacy are being completely misused. Did you believe that individuals like Steve J were the most trustworthy in the industry? You were mistaken. Now, Lil Scrappy has made some shocking claims, and he's not just targeting Steve J, but also revealing it. You won't know the true controversy or where these celebrities are going until you follow this video through to the end. The whole new dark side of the show, was this all staged? Was it just drama, or was there something deeper going on? Watch this astonishing revelation, because something much greater is about to happen. Let's be honest for a moment about reality TV and the turmoil, whose actions have put their careers in peril. We all know that something explosive would happen eventually, but who would have imagined that it would end up with Lil Scrappy completely berating Steve J over a leaked video featuring Bambi? First, let's take a step back. This controversy is everything but normal. It's ugly, personal, and about to get much worse. If you've been living under a rock, you may not be aware of this and recognize the seriousness of the situation. This isn't simply any trivial leak. Rather, we're discussing a private moment in which Bambi, a major participant in the reality TV game, leaked a private film. For example, this isn't only an error, it's a premeditated move, which is precisely what makes this story so hazardous. But where does Steve J fit into all of this? Well, let's start with the fundamentals. Steve J has established a reputation as one of the, if we go back a little, we've seen Stevie J entangled in a number of complicated situations. He is one of the most notorious people in the reality TV scene because of his shady transactions, messy relationship turmoil, and continual engagement in controversies. Whether it's his controversial business methods or his violent altercations with Jocelyn, he is supposedly responsible for the leaked film that has Bambi incensed and a little irate. Why is this leak so important? For a brief minute, picture yourself in Bambi's position. Your private moments, which ought to be kept private, are suddenly public knowledge. This is not only a violation of her right to privacy, but also a direct assault on her reputation. And there is when Lil Scrappy enters the scene. He is furious, and he can't blame him. When the video first made headlines, everyone was talking about it. The internet was blazing, social media was exploding, and everyone had a viewpoint. But it wasn't until Lil Scrappy said it that things began to get out of control. He didn't hold back and called Steve J everything from a manipulator to a backstabber, and he did not end there. According to Scrappy, this was not only a video leak, rather, it was deliberate, and the most incriminating aspect is that he asserts that Steve J planned the entire incident knowing exactly what would occur once the video hit the internet. But before we go any further into the scandal, let's take a moment to look at the backstory. Trust me, this is a significant problem, even though you might think it's just another small-scale drama involving reality TV, But this is more complicated than it first appears. The relationship between Bambi and Lil Scrappy Stevie J isn't exactly smooth. There has been conflict between the two men for years, and this video is only the most recent episode in a protracted conflict. In order to comprehend the reasons for this explosive moment, we must go back in time to the time when Scrappy and Steve J first met. At that time, they were both at various stages of their careers. While Scrappy was still attempting to forge his own way in the entertainment industry, Stevie J was already well known and a seasoned producer with connections to some of the greatest names in the field, juggling his personal life and his career as a rapper. But it didn't take long for the two men to become involved in the reality TV scene, primarily because of their connection to hip-hop and love. Over time, the relationship began to sour because of the manner that Steve J's methods annoyed Scrappy. The man was notorious for using underhanded methods, particularly in his financial dealings, and Scrappy didn't trust him, And that mistrust only increased when whether it was Stevie J attempting to play both sides or incite conflict between Bambi and Scrappy. It was accusing Stevie J of exploiting Bambi's private life for his own gain, claiming that this was never an accident, but rather a calculated move. The video was intended to cause drama, evoke strong feelings, and eventually cause destruction. There is much more going on behind the scenes, according to unnamed sources close to the matter, but let's not take Scrappy at his word for it. They say that Stevie J and Bambi's image were the ones pulling the strings. According to these accounts, Stevie J's activities were not merely motivated by retaliation or small-time drama. Rather, they were part of a wider, darker scheme that included a network of betrayals, power battles, and we'll go into more detail about those allegations later. But for now, just know that there is something really concerning about the way Steve J has handled this circumstance. And as the narrative progresses, as more information becomes available, it becomes evident that this is not a small event, but rather a significant scandal. Lil Scrappy is taking a position, demanding answers, and refusing to back down. What comes next for these two men as Lil Scrappy investigates the claims further and reveals the hidden truths behind Stevie J's actions? Has the potential to permanently alter the reality TV business. It appears that there is no turning back. The drama is far from done, and with each new revelation, the tension only grows. Before we go on to the next chapter of this startling story, let's take a little examine how the public and social media have responded to this whole affair. What are fans saying? What are people's thoughts on Lil Scrappy's audacious accusations? How is Stevie J handling the commotion that's occurred, ignited? Let's dissect it in the following section. After laying the groundwork for this startling controversy, let's examine the specifics of the leaked video and the fallout that is rocking the if you thought Lil Scrappy's charges against Stevie J were dramatic. Wait until you hear what's coming next. This is when the narrative takes a nasty turn, and it's not just about a simple mistake or an unintentional leak. No, this is a deliberate assault on Bambi's character and potentially her career. Let's dissect it first. We've all seen leaked videos, whether they feature celebrities or not, or reality stars, and we are aware of the harm they may do. But there's something unique about this specific video that sets it apart. It wasn't just any personal film. Rather, it was a private moment of Bambi, one of, according to Lil Scrappy, the most well-known hip-hop and romantic celebrities, pushed a moment that ought to have stayed out of the public eye into the spotlight for everyone to witness. This wasn't just any leak, though. Incident. In fact, Scrappy asserts that Stevie J knew precisely what he was doing when he released the tape, claiming that the timing was too ideal, occurring just as Bambi was beginning to make significant strides in her career, was made public, and all of a sudden, her reputation was in danger. Let's take a moment to consider how frequently we have witnessed rising reality TV stars have their private lives revealed at the worst possible time. Potentially, this isn't a coincidence. According to Scrappy, this was a deliberate attempt to ruin Bambi's career, and it gets worse when you take Stevie J's record into account. We are aware that he has a history of drama and has been involved in and out of scandals for years. This video leak is only the most recent in a long string of deceptive tactics, but this is where things start to get seriously interestingly. According to unnamed sources close to the Love and Hip Hop production, Stevie J didn't make a random mistake with this video. Rather, they said that he had access to private footage of Bambi and understood exactly what would happen after it was made public. The harm was done as soon as the video appeared on social media. And what's even more startling is that some sources are saying that Stevie J might have received assistance from someone inside the production team. You heard correctly. Some people are accusing some members of the production team of being involved in the video's distribution. But let's not overlook the larger Stevie J and Scrappy have never been the greatest of friends. But this move might just be the beginning. According to another insider close to Scrappy, this video wasn't just about hurting Bambi. It was also about making a message. Scrappy has already expressed his dissatisfaction with Stevie J's dubious actions, saying that this isn't the final straw in their long-running battle. Stevie J has crossed the line for the first time, but it won't be the last. When the video leak was announced online, the public's response was both expected and startling. Bambi social media and demanded that Stevie J be held responsible for his behavior. The hashtag #JackWithStevie is the problem began trending almost immediately, instantly, but the problem with social media is that it's a two-edged sword. While fans showered Bambi and Scrappy with sympathy, some also questioned whether the video was actually shared since this incident was blowing up in a way that was nearly too dramatic. Some fans of Stevie J started to question whether this was all part of a bigger publicity hoax, an attempt to raise awareness of hip-hop and love and boost the ratings. When the celebs arrived, drama queen Joseline Hernandez wasted no time in adding her own perspective to the scenario, raising the possibility that it was all a setup to create drama and maintain the show's pace. She used her Instagram to criticize Stevie J, accusing him of being a manipulator and dramatist, while other reality TV stars, such as Mimi Faust and Kirk Frost, weighed in, offering their opinions and stoking the flames. But the media didn't stop there. Major tabloids and entertainment news outlets also started to jump on the subject, with headlines like Stevie J's dark secrets revealed and Lil Scrappy takes on Stevie J. Everyone had an opinion, and the story grew larger than anyone could have predicted. Simply put, there was a full-blown media frenzy over a leaked video. What is Stevie J's side of the story? Naturally, he has denied any role in the video release and is continuing to maintain that he had no. In an exclusive interview, Stevie J stated that the video was leaked without his knowledge and that he was sorry for the entire issue. However, the catch is that his statement looked a little too prepared, perhaps too flawless, and remember that this isn't the first time Stevie J has been involved in a scandal. Some fans weren't buying his victim act, saying it was simply another one of others criticized Stevie J for using deceptive methods to hide his involvement, asking why he was so fast to respond with a well-written apology when the video initially appeared if he really had no information. Let's face it, Stevie J has a lengthy history of attempting to play the victim in the face of scandals. From his notorious connection with Jolene to he's been able to change the course of events and make himself appear to be the victim in a number of court cases. But this time it might be harder to get away with it. So who's speaking the truth? Stevie J or someone else? He's just going about his routine, and with everyone's eyes on Bambi and Lil Scrappy and the media coverage getting more intense by the second, the pressure is mounting on everyone involved and the next phase of the tension is building, and we're only getting started. Stay tuned for the last section of our investigation, where we'll examine the consequences of the video leak, what it means for these celebrities' careers, and the future of hip-hop and love. Terrible story that isn't going to go away anytime soon as we continue to examine the Bambi video leak controversy. What began as a private moment has now turned into a full-fledged public spectacle. The social media conflagration isn't slowing down, and the consequences will have an impact on Bambi's and Lil Scrappy Stevie J's lives for months or even years to come. Trust me, things are going to get even more juicy in this last section as we go deeply into the impact from this entire fiasco and look at the potential repercussions for all parties involved. Let's now discuss legal. Bambi and Scrappy are no strangers to being embroiled in public drama, but this video leak raises the possibility that this will turn into a legal battle given the amount of drama and the way things are going. Situations in a way that can reveal a whole host of legal issues. You know, when private content is leaked, rules are put in place to prevent people's private moments from being revealed without their consent. Even more intriguing is the possibility that Bambi is pursuing the entire production crew behind Love and Hip Hop, as some individuals think there's more than just Stevie J being sued for emotional distress or slander. There is more to this than just a chance leak. May there have been internal leaks from the production firm or network? Did someone else purposefully take advantage of Bambi's weakness to increase ratings or for personal benefit? Given the public nature of this, there is little doubt that the attorneys are already lined up to defend Bambi in a potential multi-party lawsuit involving numerous parties from both the cast and backstage. If the courts get involved, things may go even worse than what we've seen so far. Scandal defamation lawsuits might be coming up, and we wouldn't be surprised if Stevie J himself was being investigated for his involvement in this fiasco. Let's talk about the long term. I promise you that if Bambi takes this to court, the media will be quite interested. This is only the start of the legal war that might take place over the course of the next year. Influence on these celebrities' careers. Bambi and Scrappy have endured hardships in the past, but this time around, the video leak has damaged their reputations to the point that it may affect their actual future. Although drama is what makes love and hip-hop so popular on television, this kind of controversy might drive the program to its breaking point. Might this leak have a long-term impact on the show's ratings? It's possible. In fact, there's already conjecture that although the producers may have purposefully created this controversy to generate interest in an otherwise dull season of Joe, the media quickly jumped on the subject because it was so significant. Everyone had an opinion on the topic, and the story grew larger than expected when tabloids and entertainment news agencies started publishing headlines like Stevie J's dark secrets revealed and Lil Scrappy takes on Stevie J. Anyone might have predicted that it would be more than a video leak controversy. It was a full-fledged media frenzy. As for Steve J's side of the story, he has, of course, denied any involvement in the video leak and is sticking to that. In an exclusive interview, Stevie J stated that he was unaware that the footage would be shown to the public. He also expressed regret for the entire incident, but here's the catch. In addition to the fact that this isn't the first time Stevie J has been involved in controversy, his response seemed a little too prepared and flawless. Some fans weren't buying his victim act, saying it's just another of Stevie J's deceptive strategies to hide his involvement. Some questioned why he acted so composed when the video initially appeared and why he was so ready to reply with a well-written "let's face it." Stevie J has a long history of attempting to play the victim in the face of problems from his notorious relationship. Instead of the normal defensive fury we typically see from celebs in similar situations, he'd apologized. With Jolene and his many court cases, he has been able to change the course of events and portray himself as the victim. However, this time, it may be more difficult to get away with it. So who is really speaking the truth? Stevie J, the victim here, or is he just engaging in his typical behavior? What will happen to Bambi and Lil Scrappy now that everyone is watching them and the media coverage is getting more intense by the second? The investigation's next section will examine the consequences of the video leak, including what it means for these celebrities' careers and the future of hip-hop and love. The tension is building, and we're just getting started, so stay tuned for the conclusion. It's certain that this issue won't go away anytime soon as we continue to examine the disaster that is the Bambi video leak. What began as a private moment has now turned into a full-fledged public spectacle. The social media conflagration isn't slowing down, and the consequences will have an impact on Bambi's and Lil Scrappy Stevie J's lives for months or even years to come. Trust me, things are going to get even more juicy in this last section as we go deeply into the impact from this entire fiasco and look at the potential repercussions for all parties involved. Let's now discuss legal. Bambi and Scrappy are no strangers to being embroiled in public drama, but this video leak raises the possibility that this will turn into a legal battle given the amount of drama and the way things are going. Situations in a way that can reveal a whole host of legal issues. You know, when private content is leaked, rules are put in place to prevent people's private moments from being revealed without their consent. Even more intriguing is the possibility that Bambi is pursuing the entire production crew behind Love and Hip Hop, as some individuals think there's more than just Stevie J being sued for emotional distress or slander. There is more to this than just a chance leak. May there have been internal leaks from the production firm or network? Could someone else purposefully take advantage of Bambi's weakness to increase ratings? Celebrities' careers. Bambi and Scrappy have endured hardships in the past, but this time around, the video leak has damaged their reputations to the point that it may affect their actual future. While drama is what makes love and hip-hop so popular on television, this kind of controversy could drive the program to its breaking point. Could this leak have an impact on the show's ratings? Long-term, there's a chance there are already rumors that producers might have purposefully planned this controversy to ignite interest in a season that is otherwise lagging of the program. Joe.